How you doing? These champions are so broken, Kabam had no choice but to nerf them. So I'm gonna give you guys the top 6 champions that were so broken, Kabam had to nerf them. And an honorable mention. I just wanna say that not every champion's Kabam nerf is broken. Just because Kabam nerfs a champion does not necessarily mean they're broken. They could be OP. I'm gonna describe it later. What's the difference between OP and broken? I definitely think, without a doubt, the top 3 champions on this list is without a doubt broken. Like, Kabam had to nerf them for sure. Uh, and spoiler alert, Mr. Sinister is in there. So let's talk about my honorable mention. And before I do, let me know your top 5 or maybe top 10 champions you think that were so broken Kabam had to nerf. I'm just gonna give you guys, I think, the top 6 we're talking about in an honorable mention. So I know it's a little blurry, but this is Cosmic Ghost Rider pre-nerf. So most people don't know that Cosmic Ghost Rider was nerfed. So this is the deep dive. I know it's a little blurry, but you can see this is 6-star rank 3. Cosmic Ghost Rider. The only reason why he's honorable mention, because he never made it to the game live. This is just the deep dive, so we don't really know how powerful Cosmic Ghost Rider is if he wasn't nerfed. I don't expect his damage to be double what it is now, but I would say maybe up to 50%, 50% or less increase in damage if he wasn't nerfed. So that's pretty much like a comparable to a 7-star rank 4 compared to a 6-star rank 5 ascended. So if Cosmic Ghost Rider didn't get nerfed, would it be comparable? Would still be usable? Do you think more people are gonna be using him as a 6-star if he didn't get nerfed? If his damage was increased by 50%, who knows? That's a good question to talk about. So I'm gonna give you guys number 6 on the list. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, people confuse the difference between OP and broken, and this is a very good example what it means. Not every champion is broken, obviously, and there's a difference between OP and broken. So let's talk about overpower first. So overpower, an item, character, or strategy is overpowered when it's exceptionally and intentionally strong, creating an unfair advantage. Unlike a bug, this element is working exactly as the developers coded it. Okay, but its power level was poorly balanced against other options. So just because a champion is not balanced, it doesn't mean that they're broken. They could be OP, just exactly what this definition means. So unlike a bug, this element is working exactly as the developers coded. So there's a lot of champions in the game that you could definitely make an argument that's OP. So let me just show you what broken means. Let's go. Broken. Broken is a broader term that's often used colloquially. I know what it means, but I cannot explain. I cannot say it. So to describe something so unbalanced or exploitable that it breaks the game fundamental rules or purpose. So that without a doubt, when it comes to the top 3, it had to be nerfed. Okay, because that's how broken it is. You could definitely make the top case for the bottom 3, 654, to be like OP but not broken. But without a doubt, the top 3 is without a doubt broken. So let's talk about number 6. So this was, I believe, the crazy part about this is I cannot guarantee this is the pre-nerf version. I think I'm 99% sure it is. But this is the most amazing thing I've seen when it comes to Mr. Sinister. Okay, look at the health pool. Over 3.3 million health, almost 3.4 million health. Okay, and this is without damage mastery or boost. 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Just to fathom how amazing this is, keep in mind, this is Labyrinth of Legends, where there's a damage cap of 50,000. As you can see, biggest hit, 50,000. 40 seconds. Just to phantom it, there's no champion in the game that can do that right now without a cap, without a damage cap. I don't think there's any champion in the game that could do that right now with boost and damage mastery. This is without boost, without damage mastery, with a damage cap. And I don't think any champion in the game that could do this much damage, this much health pool, this much damage in time without a damage cap. That's how mind-boggling this is. And I do believe, like not guaranteed, but I do believe this is the pre-nerf of Mr. Sinister. So it's really unfortunate. It is what it is, but he's been nerfed. But just look how crazy this is. Let's go back to Cosmic Ghost Rider, okay? So 63 hits, I don't know. This is a 6-star rank 3 though, but he is running damage mastery. You're not seeing it here, but he's running damage mastery. And you can see 6-star rank 3 is just, it's compared to a 7-star rank 4, it's like about more than double. But since he's running damage mastery here, it's pretty much double. You could say maybe even less, but it's pretty close to double. So I understand that Mr. Sinister, when it comes to like the hit count, it's 14. Like you can't really compare the two, right? 14 hits versus 63 because Cosmic Ghost Rider inflicts a lot more hits than Mr. Sinister. But let's just say, you know, they finish at the same time. 40 seconds, right? 63 hits, uh 40 seconds, okay? This is like less than 550,000 health. Okay, let's just pretend this is a 7-star rank 4 without boost, without damage mastery. There would be double the damage. It'd be 1.1 million, less than 1.1 million in 40 seconds. Okay, that is less than, that's crazy. 1.1 million, right? If it was a 7-star rank 4 without boost, without damage mastery, a little less than that in 40 seconds. And look at this, Mr. Sinister, over 3.3 million, more than 3 times the health in in 40 seconds. You see how mind-boggling this is? I just want to say, should this be nerfed? I mean, I'm talking like it should be nerfed, of course, but uh a reason why I don't I think it's OP but not broken is that it could have been fine in the game, but if because this was like with 10 charges and also with full synergy. Now, you got the apocalypse synergy, and this is with 10 charges. So I can understand if he could do this in like battlegrounds when there's 0 charges, and without apocalypse synergy. I can understand, yeah, this should be nerfed, like doing 100k damage per second. Yeah, that should be nerfed, okay? Duh. So 100k degen per second, that should be nerfed, because once if you're running boost, damage mastery, 10 charges with apocalypse synergy, he can go up to like almost 500k per second. So half a million damage per second. Yeah, I think I can understand if it could be nerfed if it was this damage came like in battlegrounds where he's doing 40 seconds, 3.3 million health. But this is like full synergy, 10 charges. So, with 10 charges, you can literally triple his damage. So, I think it was definitely OP, but I think it could have been fine in the game. Okay. So, let's talk about the next one. I think I would have been okay with the nerf, like if they actually fix his regen. Right now, his regen, when it comes to Mr. Sinister, from his signature ability, is not working. So let's talk about. You see how crazy that is? I know I probably should have said this earlier. This is Cyclops pre-nerf, okay? And I want to know, would you make Cyclops pre-nerf in the top 10 broken champions? Let me know. But this is pre-nerf, so as you can see, I don't know where the time starts, but we're just gonna say 3:30. 40 seconds later, he did 2%. But keep in mind, this was like 25 million damage health pool. So even 25 million health pool, this was like 500,000 damage in 40 seconds. But to be fair to Cyclops, I think, what is he only has 6 charges, so he can get up to 10 charges. Okay, so larger health pool if you're running boost or without boost. I think eventually, I don't know exact health pool, but eventually maybe like 8 million health pool, possibly less, I don't know, 8 million or higher with boost, or maybe even without boost. Cyclops pre-nerf can take Mr. Sinister pre-nerf. without with boost or without boost, but with the damage cap. With the damage cap, of course, Cyclops cannot. You know, there's no way he can keep up with Mister Sinister. So this one, number 5 on the list is Scarlet Witch. So Scarlet Witch had this very powerful synergy with uh Quicksilver, but it got nerfed. So this is a 5-star, taking down Realm of Legends Winter Soldier in 11 seconds. Okay, that is mind-boggling. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys why it should have stayed in the game. So let's talk about this. Is pretty much the highlight of it. Look at this. Beer Man showed. This is pretty sure this is the pre-nerf, but it is the 5-star. To be fair, 5-star don't really do well in Abyss. So this was below average. This was coming from Beer Man, who's one of the best players in the world. Couldn't even solo this, and I'm pretty sure this is with the Quicksilver pre-nerf synergy. And as you can see here, Beer Man something here. Synergy will be nerfed, and I'm quite mad. So he was basically saying he's mad that this was nerfed. I feel like, that Scarlet with synergy with Quicksilver, I think it could have stayed in the game because it's just so unrealistic. Like, where are you gonna test this synergy at? There's damage cap in Abyss, Labyrinth of Legends, Necropolis, so he was gonna be really I just don't see how useful it is, and it's also based on RNG as well. And I don't think it was just Quicksilver. I know, like you can say, majority of the reason why she can do this damage was Quicksilver, but this is like full synergy. Okay, I don't have a team with me, but this is a full synergy, and when she was able to do this, and a lot of luck, you have to get really lucky. So it was a bunch of RNG, a lot of luck, and really not just Quicksilver. It was full synergy, and then you have to worry about damage cap as well. So I really think this should have stayed in the game. And a lot of people, are you crazy or what? I really, the number one reason why I think some champions that I don't like getting nerfed, that were quotation mark by Kabam broken. We'll talk about in a different video what Kabam thinks broken is. But I feel like champions that get nerfed, they become useless. They become like, who used them? I know that Mr. Sinister is probably like champion people still use, but before he got nerfed, everybody ranked up Mr. Sinister. He was so balanced. He was so balanced. Wink, wink. So, I mean, a lot of people still use Mr. Sinister, but not compared before he got nerfed. So I feel like champions that get nerfed, that quotation mark broken, I feel like they just become useless. That's why I think this synergy with Quicksilver should have stayed in the game because it's just so unrealistic. Like, you're rarely gonna be able to use it. So what else? So number 4 on the list is Sabretooth. Basically, Sabretooth, I believe with Sasquatch synergy, there was no cap, okay? So they capped it because they thought it was too powerful. As you can see here, he was hitting the damage cap as a 6-star rank 3 in Labyrinth of Legends. Okay, so this is pretty powerful. I think if they kept it at 100 Furies, I would have been okay with it. If they limit to 100 Furies, as you can see here, he has like 110. I think this is definitely one of the most powerful synergies in the game, and most, you could argue, broken. But I feel like, it's, I don't know, necessarily say it's broken. It's definitely OP for sure. Same thing with Scarlet Witch. I don't know necessarily it's broken, but it's definitely OP because it's just, I don't know, when you factor in that, where's it gonna be used for? Because you have damage cap in the game, right? It just seems so unrealistic, and this is probably the most unrealistic thing in the game. That's why I think it could have stayed, because to get to 110 Furies, you have to pretty much get knocked out, start over, get your Furies. Like, you couldn't gone to like Maestro, which is like what, 20 plus fights already. Uh, just if you solo every fight, you couldn't get to 110 Furies. Okay, like, you had to pretty much had to exit out to get your Furies, which will cost you a lot of revives. Not to mention there's damage caps, right? You have to worry about damage cap too. So I feel like this synergy is just so unrealistic that I feel like it could have stayed in the game. You know what I mean? Like, where are you gonna test it? You have to worry about damage cap. You have to think about reviving him over and over and over. Not to mention, you gotta make sure you have the Sasquatch synergy as well as finish with a special three. And like the only place you can really test this is incursion. But even incursion, they're like it's just impossible for you to get there because you know there's power lock one nodes, there's power lock two nodes where you cannot special throw your special three. Not to mention if your attack is too high, you might not even get to your special three. Okay, before your help of the opponent runs out. Not to mention you can run into abomination, immortal abomination, where you just gonna be like an unavoidable damage. So I really think I really should have kept in the game because it's so unrealistic. The most unrealistic thing in the game when it comes to the synergy, without a doubt. Because there's just no way like you can keep that many furies without sacrificing so much revives, and really that's it to be able to do that. And even so, look at 110 furies. Okay, look at this. It wasn't even hitting the damage cap with 100. I mean, yeah, non crit wasn't even hitting the damage cap, which is really disappointing. Like 110 Furies, non crit doesn't hit the damage cap. Okay, it is 6-star rank 3 to be fair, but you know, obviously, if you have a rank 5 ascended, he'll be hitting the damage cap with that many Furies without crits, but it is boosted too, so yeah, I feel like this synergy could have been kept for sure. It's just because it's so unrealistic. And when it comes to Sabretooth, like you know how this synergy got nerfed? Like nobody plays Sabretooth anymore since the synergy got nerfed. Yeah, there's a few people that do, sure, that likes to play with Sabretooth, but the guy got after they nerfed the synergy, they buffed them. Think about it. They buffed them because they nerfed the synergy. Why didn't they just keep the synergy instead? Okay. I mean, and the fact that they got buff, like there are people saying out of the six quotation mark that got buff, he was the worst one. People are saying he was the worst buff out of the top six. Think about it. People are saying his buff is worse than Viv Vision's buff, or technically quotation mark buff. Technically, she had a bug fix, and if people had a vote who's better buff, technically she didn't even get a buff. When it comes to Viv Vision, people would probably pick Viv Vision over Sabretooth. That's how I won't say his buff was bad, but really it just makes sense that they nerfed the synergy and then after that buff him. Why would you nerf the synergy and then buff him? It really didn't just make sense to me. I think why they should have kept this synergy. So I'm just gonna give you guys top three without a doubt. This should be nerf, okay? Broken, not OP, broken. So let's talk about it. Let me know what do you guys think it is. So so a lot of people think Call Obsidian is broken. Well, that's kind of what happens when you use a 7-star rank 4 Sig 200. It a lot of things can bad things can, champion seems powerful when you're using a 7-star rank 4 Sig 200 as well as a fully ramped up, fully boosted champion. So this is a fully boosted, pretty much not fully ramped up. This is 9 persistent charge, 9 hits to take down Vision as a 7-star rank 4. You can see the PI 70,000, and a lot of people think this guy is broken and they have no idea what they're talking about as usual. Is it OP? Yeah, for sure it's OP, but broken, no. Let me just show you what a broken call is. Okay, this is what a broken call is. As you can see, even less. This is 8 hits, okay? But this is with 10 charges, so you could say they're about the same, I guess, when it comes to terms of hits. But this is 6-star rank 5, 6-star rank 1. I don't know. I don't know if they're running damage mastery here or not. But this is a 6-star rank 1. Okay, not boosted. 6-star rank 1, not boosted. Less than this colon Civian has more than 5 times the PI of this one. So basically, 5 times, it's not more than 5 times the attack, and it's the same damage. This is Cole Obsidian before he got nerfed. This is the broken Cole. People think Cole is broken now. Go back about 6 years ago if you want to see what a broken Cole is. Consider this is truly the broken Cole Obsidian. He's basically doing more than 4 times, if not more than 5 times the damage he would be doing if he was a 7-star rank 4, fully boosted with the Coles agent that was nerfed uh, in the past. So he's number 3 on the list. And I'm going to tell you, number 2 on the list is again Mr. Sinister. Oh man. I think you could definitely make an argument for this being number 1. Keep in mind, Apocalypse Energy does not exist when this happened. This was about 7 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. Okay, so he's doing more damage now when it comes to Mr. Sinister. As a 4-star without Apocalypse Energy, with class disadvantage, I think he is running Damage Mastery here as well, but zero charges, zero charges class disadvantage without Apocalypse Synergy. 4-star was doing more damage than Mr. Sinister right now at 7-star rank 4, fully ramped up, even the nerf version. Okay, even the nerf version, pre-nerf version of uh, Mr. Sinister was probably doing like, depending on you're talking what fully ramped up you're talking about, maybe he's doing about 60k at most per degen. Like you're talking about fully ramped up without power shield node, of course. 3 cosmic boosts at least, class advantage, full boost, full damage, mastery, apocalypse synergy. He can probably get up to like 60k degens per second, the pre-nerf version. But this is a 4-star. Okay, zero charges, class disadvantage without apocalypse synergy, doing over 86,000 damage per second, and a 7-star rank 4 has more than 6 times the attack of a 4-star rank 5 not ascended. So this is basically doing over a million damage. Basically, right? Yeah. No. Over half a million damage. Let me do math. 6 times. Yeah. Over half a million damage per half a second. Okay. And for every degen, it's over half a million damage. Per every second, it's over a million damage. Okay, I mean, if you're factoring a 7-star rank 4, that's how broken this is. If this was like, this is a 4-star rank 5, not ascended, by the way. Just this without Apocalypse Synergy, zero charges, class disadvantage. Just think about it. If this was a 7-star rank 4, it would be doing over a million degen damage per second. That's how broken Mr. Sinister was 6 years ago, or 7 years ago. If he was a 7-star rank 4 today before he got nerfed. So he's number 2 on the list, could arguably be number 1. So number 1 in the list is Angela. Okay, Angela. So they pretty much had to nerf incursion hacks because of Angela. Okay, she literally broke the game in incursion. Okay, look at that. This is a 5-star if you've seen it, and you can see by Hercules PI is not even that far in incursion. She literally broke the game when it comes to incursion. They had to nerf hacks in incursion. They had to nerf the hacks in incursion to the ground because of Angela. Okay, not every hacks incursion they nerf, just specifically for Angela, because how much damage she can do. Keep in mind, this is a 5-star, and I made a video on this talking about there's probably at least 10 ways she can increase her damage. I really think like a 5-star with perfect gameplay, like perfect condition, could have done over a billion damage. So a 7-star rank 4 for sure, or would have been able to hit a damage cap of 2.1 billion. But because of that, they had to nerf the hacks. Then they had to nerf the hacks incursion. Not just nerf the hacks, nerf them to the ground when it comes to the hacks. Not all the hacks, but just the hacks for Angela because how broken she is. That's how insane it is, okay? What the heck is that? Look at this. Like, look at the notes here. This is literally the hardest fights in incursion, okay? Using a 5-star Angela, almost 4 million health and over 300,000 attack. Let's see how fast Angela can do this fight. Just to show you how broken she was, and Kabam had no choice but to nerf the hacks. So what hacks did they nerf? They nerfed Keep It Going to the ground. They nerfed Buff Cornucopia to the ground. That may be debatable. You can just say nerf. And they nerf Title Combat to the ground for sure. Look at that. Polka Dot Power. I, aggressive regeneration with over 4 million health. Think about this. How fast she's going. This is literally one of the toughest fights in Incursion. Defense Cascade, you can argue it's balanced, but for Angela, they nerf it for sure for her. So literally, like, keep it going. Buff Cornucopia, Title Combat, they had to nerf to the ground because of Angela was breaking the game. Look at this. Literally the hardest fights in Incursion, and she's just like making it look like Act 3, if not Act 2. I mean, this is like using a 5-star, by the way, okay? And there's already, I'm pretty sure there's somebody with a 7-star rank for Angela, which is almost 3 times the attack and health of this 5-star. Think about it, okay? This is a 5-star with 3-star Thor relic, and I do think the Thor relic makes a difference as well. Look at, did you see that? 173 million damage. I don't know what to say. Like, and that was just like what? Let's see. Can we go back? Booyah! Look at that. It's so nice. This is the reason why they nerf incursion hacks to ground because of Angela. I wish they didn't, but I can understand why. I mean, they would really have to work around Angela in incursion because how broken she was. That's why she's number one. Obviously, because the number speaks for themselves. You can say there it's incursion, but at the same time, I'm using a 5-star, as well as what they pretty much had to change incursion, yeah, hacks. They really had to nerf the incursion hacks to the ground because of Angela. That's how broken she is, and that's why she's number one on the list. So let me know if you guys have a top 5, top 10. But these are my top 6 most broken champions that Kabam had to nerf. Thank you.